Okay, hello everyone. Today we will share our presentation about the cultures we choose. Our course is Intercultural competence in ELT, and the number of our course is 50 34 38 693. First of all, we will continue with Alexis Duarte. Then Lina Rubio will continue. And at the end, I will share my presentation. My name is Daniela Vargas. So let's start. I'll share the presentation of Alexis Duarte.
Thank you, Aniela.
Just a second. Welcome.
Hi, everyone.
Okay. Just able to see my presentation?
Yes,
Are
I
you
see a
the
presentation.
presentation?
See, yes,
One
thank you.
sec. Okay, perfect.
I see for this presentation, Indian culture. Daniela, please. Thank you. Thank you, Aniela. Location of India. Country, India. Region, South Asia. Borders, Pakistan, China, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Myanmar. Capital city, New Delhi. India is the seventh largest country in the world and has a very diverse geography. Sorry. Diverse geography, mountains, the Himalayas, deserts, forests, and long coastlines. Population, how many inhabitants? India has about 1.4 billion people, making it one of the most populous countries in the world alongside China. It is known for incredible cultural, linguistic, and religious diversity. The next slide, Daniela, please. Thank you. Indian culture and Hindi language. Indian culture, with its rich diversity, engaging traditions, and global influence, offers students an exciting learning experience. Studying Hindi not only builds language skills, but also deepens cultural understanding and global awareness. Daniela, show me the video, please.
कैसे हो?
I'm well.
अच्छी हूँ।
Can you count to 10?
1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10.
Goodbye.
अलविदा।
This is a little bit example of Hindi language. The next slide, please, Daniela. Thank you. Thank you, Daniela. Indian cuisine is incredible diversity. Studying Synchronous cuisine volleyball festivals. I will tell you about cuisine and festivals. Indian cuisine is incredibly diverse, flavorful, and deeply tied to the country's history, geography, and culture. It's not just one style of cooking. Each region of India has its own unique ingredients and techniques. Key characteristics: species are central. Common ones include cumin, turmeric, coriander, cardamom, and garam masala. They're often layered to build complex flavor rather than just heat. Balance of taste: dishes often combine spicy, sweet, sour, and savory elements. Popular dishes: butter chicken, creamy tomato-based curry, special forms from North India, biryani, and fragrant rice dish cooked with special meat or vegetables. Uh, I will I will show the video, the short video, butter chicken, and biryani. Please, Daniela. Thanks for showing the video, Daniela.
Welcome.
Uh,
We need to put
the
in the
whole,
video also.
one moment, please. The Holi is one of the most vibrant and joyful festivals celebrated in India and by Indian communities around the world. It's often called the Festival of Colors, Festival of Spring, or Festival of Love. Um, in short, Holi is colorful explosion happiness symbolizing new beginnings, togetherness, and the joy of life. What Holi celebrates? Holi marks the arrival of spring and the end of winter, the victory of God over evil, a time of renewal, forgiveness, and joy. Uh, please show me the video, Daniela. Thanks, Daniela. Can you show me the next slide, please? Indian culture diversity. Cultural diversity in Indian languages. Indian has hundreds of languages and dialects. The Constitution recognized 22 official languages, including Hindi, Bengali, Tamil, Telugu, and Marathi. Many people are multilingual, often speaking a regional language along with Hindi or English. Religions. Indian is the birthplace of major religions like Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. Is also home to a large population of Muslims, Christians, and others, making it multi-religious society. Tradition and custom. Each region has its own custom, clothing styles, festivals, and rituals. For example, Diwali, Festival of Lights, Eid, Christmas, and Pongal are celebrated across the country with regional variations. Before to finish, uh, can you show me the video, please, Daniela?
India, a land of colors, festivals, languages, and traditions. From the snow-covered Himalayas to the tropical beaches of Kerala, one question stands out. Why is there so much cultural diversity in Indian society? To understand India's cultural diversity, we need to go back in time. India has been a melting pot for thousands of years, shaped by indigenous tribes, ancient civilizations, foreign invaders, and trading communities. The early civilizations of India, like the Indus Valley and the Vedic period, laid the foundation for many of India's religions, rituals, and social structures. Over centuries, India saw influences from Persians, Greeks, Mughals, and eventually the British. Each group left a mark in language, architecture, food, music, and belief systems. India was also a hub for global trade. Ports like Calicut and Mumbai welcomed Arabs, Chinese, and Europeans who brought not only goods but also ideas and customs. This is why India is home to multiple religions: Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism, Jainism, all coexisting and influencing one another. Add to that the fact that India is made up of 28 states and 8 union territories, each with its own language, cuisine, clothing, art, and celebrations. Cultural identity in India is often regional, and proudly so. And this diversity isn't just in textbooks, it's part of everyday life. From the food you eat to the way you greet someone, everything changes from state to state, even village to village. So why is there such rich cultural diversity in Indian society? Because India is not one story. It's 1,000 stories woven together by history, migration, religion, geography, and tradition. That's what makes India so beautifully complex and so incredibly unique. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe for more insights into cultures around the world.
Thanks, Daniela. Classmates, tell me about video, about presentation to Indian.
Yeah, of course, for me, um, or in my case, it's very interesting this kind of cultures. Uh, I don't know, all my life, I think this culture is, this culture have a lot of like different things comparing with our culture here in Latin America. So the most interesting thing for me is the food. For example, I really like to eat spicy food. Also, I really like to cook with a lot of spices, a lot of, how can I say? Yeah, a lot of kind of flavors. So yeah, I I believe the most interesting thing uh, about the culture that you choose is the food. As I mentioned, it is for my side. But also, I believe that if someone invite me to participate in the holy, how is the name of that celebration? Holy,
Holy,
I don't remember the. Sorry.
Holy Celebrity,
Holy festival?
Yeah,
Yes.
if
Holy Festival.
yeah, if someone invite me to the holy festival, I will say not because for me it looks dangerous for my eyes. But just that's why. But it looks funny.
But but it's funny.
Yeah, it looks funny, but I will say no if someone invite me to that.
Okay, thanks for your part.
Okay. Actually, it was for me kind of impressive because I think that we live all the time argumented and under prejudices regarding some kind of cultures, and the most because this is part of religion, different traditions, the Hinduism. I remember a couple of things that I knew before for this culture is such as different temples, architectonics, such as the Taj Mahal, right? But watching the presentation, I
It's a
couldn't
beautiful
approach.
place.
Exactly. It's a beautiful place, but I think that it depends, as you mentioned, that if you are invited to the holy festival, the answer would be no. But I consider that that's the reason we still been argumented, and maybe because we didn't have the approach to this culture. And currently in this session, I think that I have expanded the knowledge and I could spread a little more my mind into the concept of this culture. I liked also the food. Yes, how the tradition works, how about the food, because I also had the idea that the food could be a little different, that we didn't find all of this variety, and we find a lot of, yes, so we can move further behind of the thought that it's only religion, the tradition. We know that men and women cover, yes, they have to cover the faces. However,
Yes,
we are supporting people. That is part of the culture, yes. We respect if one day we travel over that, we respect, but we can take it into account that is not only just to be squaring this tradition. No, we can enjoy a little more things. So thank you very much, Alexis. I also consider that with the videos and with the information that you have provided, for me, it's a little more clear the sculpture.
thanks, Lina. Thanks, Daniela. Continue to the presentation, my partner Lina.
Yeah,
Okay.
we will continue with Lina. Yeah, just a second. Let me share your presentation. One sec, please.
All right. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Regarding the following culture, we are going to go back to the story.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I see.
Yes,
Okay.
Daniela. We see your
Okay.
screen.
Yes. Yeah, I see. Okay, very good, guys. Thank you very much. At the beginning, I wrote a concept in French that is we're gonna have a journey through the French culture. So we are going to focus on different things, different items that have influenced all the French culture through the time. So people, students are especially interested in the art, the cuisine, and the leadership. Guys, I don't know if you have experience that we sometimes eat cheese, the famous baguettes, some croissants. Yes, they belong and they are part of the French culture. Um, my opinion, I consider that I have never moved through the gastronomy in French till I developed this activity. Why? Beginning with this cuisine or gastronomy, um, I found that the UNESCO declared as a cultural patrimony because of the mix of different French ingredients, because of the flavors, the typical dishes that we can find, the croissant, the ratatouille, yes, the creme brulee is very famous, and the baguette. So guys, honestly, every every breakfast, every 15 days on Sundays, I used to have breakfast a baguette. So it's part of French culture. I found something really nice, and they have an etiquette, you know. So if you go to the restaurant in French, in different places in French, and they have stages for the food. So we find the main course or the main dish. After they have the full dish, among to the dish, you can enjoy for a dessert. And this is a space to enjoy the flavor, to enjoy of the food. For me, this is really interesting to know about this culture. Okay, so people consider students like people love traveling to friends. They consider that eating there is not just like a feat because it's part of our needs. It could be more than that. Definitely, it is a cultural and a social experience. Enjoy the gastronomy in France. Okay, so regarding this culture, we are going to check a little more about the art and the leadership. I'm going to invite you to watch the following video to know a little more about this culture.
Um, are you able to see the video?
Yes, we can play the video. Thank you.
Can you see my screen with the video?
Yeah, okay. I
Can you
see
see my
the
screen with the video?
I see the presentation. No, yet the video.
It's okay. Just a
Yes.
second. Okay.
In the world.
Can you see the video?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Great.
More than 8 million tourists a year. It is the third largest country in Europe, about twice the size of the United Kingdom. France takes its name from the Franks, the group of people who lived in France after the Romans. France has a long and interesting history and is famous for its fashion, culture, art, and advances in science and philosophy. It is a major economic power and known for its sporting success. The capital city of France is Paris. Paris has many iconic tourist destinations, such as the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, the Notre Dame Cathedral. The Eiffel Tower is the most visited paid monument in the world and named after the engineer Gustave Eiffel, whose company designed and built the tower. It is 324 meters tall. Did you know? The famous Louvre Museum in France has over 8 miles of galleries. A third of French land is farmed. The currency used in France is the European euro. The Tour de France is a famous cycling race in which cyclists travel over 3,200 kilometers in 21 days. Around 15 million people line the route to watch the race. France is a beautiful country, and hopefully you will get to visit it soon if you haven't already.
Okay. Perfect. Now,
Okay.
let me know. Yeah, let me know if you are able to see my screen now.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. So at the beginning of the video, we found part of the story, then most important places, and at the end, the tour of France for this beautiful sport. Okay, guys, I invite you to make a short journey to one of the biggest museums in French. Okay, and it's the Museum of Louvre. I don't know if maybe you have listened about this one. Maybe if you want to participate on the chat, when you listen friends, what kind of places do you think about, guys? Maybe we can answer on the chat. What, when you listen friends, what places do you know or you review? Thank you. So we always think in Paris, right? And the Eiffel Tower. However, in this session, I want to show you about this Museum of Louvre. We know that part of the French culture has been influenced for a long time from the beginning of the old times, you know, since the Middle Age till the contemporary. And still, so France was influenced by the monarchy, okay, and what we can see is the beloved of years and years of story, culture. Yes, different masterpieces that had been confiscated in this museum since the French Revolution due to the victories of the different wars, the Napoleon victories too. What we can appreciate in this journey is the Mona Lisa, such as better known as the Gioconda for French language. Yes, so in French, we don't have only the Museum of Louvre, we have different museums and a lot of masterpieces. It's considered that France is one of the places that approaches the most of the masterpieces around the world. And that's the reason why many people travel there. Yes, and we can appreciate art and architecture, miles of monuments from Rome Palace. We can also find the Versailles Palace. Yes, we can find museums for fashion, for different fields. People consider that is crucial to visit France and the different places to find and to identify a little more about the culture around the world. Not only because of the French culture, just because we can understand a little more about the story. Okay. Besides to check the art, we can among to art we find the literature. And it was very interesting because I remember when I was in high school, all the books, all the stories that I had to read, and now checking part of the French culture, they have been developed under this culture, right? You can continue with the presentation. For example, guys, I know that all of us have read this beautiful book, right? The Little Prince. French, sorry. So this is part of the French literature. The Miserables from Victor Hugo is also part of the French literature. Okay, guys, the literature has been influenced around the world. Many books, yes, many stories. We we still handle education under books and stories for French. I found a fun fact from French culture, and is that this country has won many Nobel prizes due to the literature. Yes, this French literature is very important because reflects the story, the human emotions, and the cultures around the world through all these famous authors. Okay, thank you. At the end, I consider also the language. Since we travel to France or to Europe, part of Europe, we know that English is like the main language. However, French is the official language in France, right? In Paris, in different countries. And this is a fundamental pillar of this national identity. So that's why we listen to many people that among English, they rather also practice or learn French. And it helps also in not only to develop this language for education, it's just because it also helps to connect with this part of the French culture because it regarding all the things that we mentioned before is very meaningful as an international influence. Okay, perfect, guys. So with this, the last poster that I show you a couple of books and different authors. I would like to ask you if maybe you are interested in visit one of the museums or one of the cities in France, or if you are interested in this culture, what do you think about this culture?
Yes, for me, also this culture is really interesting. I really love like to travel around the world. I had the opportunity before to visit France, but I did not went to Paris. I went to another city, and the name was like Bordeaux. The reason why
No.
I did not visit Paris, it was because I just thought that everyone visit Paris and like it's just a few people that know the rest of the country. So maybe I can imagine the feeling when I see, I don't know, if I'm able to see the Eiffel Tower. So that's why I decide not to go there. But yeah, when I go, I notice that we have some things, like some common things. For example, I don't know. When I arrive, I just enter to a cafeteria, and I don't know really anything in France, in French. I don't know anything, but I saw in the menu that it says like croissant and cappuccino. So I asked for that because I didn't know anything else. That's that, and I tried to learn sometime. I don't know when, but I like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, I was trying to learn French, but I just learned like the numbers from 1 to 10, and that's it. But if I have the opportunity in the future, of course I will take it, because for me this culture is also really interesting, and it's really like, oh, it's a really old culture. So we have a lot of history with France.
I'm agree with you. As you mentioned, Paris, that many people remember friends
Yeah.
due to Paris, but we can find Normandy, to enjoy the wine. So this
Yeah,
beverage, and
exactly.
that is part of the culture. There you go.
Okay. Lina, I like French culture, and I would like to visit Paris at Christmas. Mm. French culture is rich, influential, and deeply intertwined with history, our language, and everyday life. France has been a world leader in art for centuries. I love that it's a birthplace of so many artists. Mm, Among the most famous painters, the name Claude Monet, Claude Monet and Pierre Auguste Renoir.
Mhm.
Literature is equally important with authors like Victor Hugo. You remember Victor Hugo, author of Les Miserables, who have shaped our narrative. It was also the birthplace
Mhm.
Napoleon, a great historical figure. Lina, congratulations for your presentation. Thanks.
No, I think you appreciate it too. Hi guys, I send you on the chat a link. Over there we can find the simulator for different museums in different countries,
Very
and we
good.
can
Excellent.
order in France, right?
And thank you, Lina. To continue the presentation, Daniela, please. Go ahead, please.
Yes, of course. Just a second. I'll share my screen. Okay, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see.
Perfect. I just want to be clear with this. At the beginning, I chose Turkish culture because I did not see in the document that we only have just a few cultures to choose. That's why what I did is like make a comparison between Turkish culture and Mexican culture. So, first of all, um, I just wants to let you know that Mexican culture is very, very rich. They have like a lot of colors, full traditions, and they are really, really strong with like influence, like with history influence and family values. They have a lot of celebrations also. One of the most important aspects of Mexican culture is family. So people usually spend a lot of time with their families, and they gatherings like are very, very common. Communication is warm, friendly, expressive, and they have a lot of social interactions. Okay, now um, people usually in Mexico, uh, they usually makes like a lot of festivals like birthdays, or they have traditional holidays that are full of music, food, and social interactions. So these events show how important community and connection are in daily life. Personally, Mexican food is my favorite, as I mentioned before. So I really enjoy dishes like tacos and other traditional meals because they are full of flavor. For me, is a very important way to experience a culture because it brings like people together and creates a social environments. And also I have the opportunity to live in Turkey. So I experienced the Turkish culture in real life. One of the things that impressed me the most was the hospitality of the people. So Turkish people are like very, very welcoming. For example, if you visit someone's house, they will always offer you tea, or they call you like chai. So they will offer, like they will ask you if you wanna take chai tea. And I experienced this many, many times in restaurants, in families' houses. So I experienced that, and for me, it was very like kind. And another important aspect is respect and social relationships. People are very polite, especially when talking to older people. There are specific ways to creating and showing respect, which are very important in daily communication. For example, if you want to make a reference about your older sister, you will say habla. It's a different word of a sister. It's like, uh, you will say like, oh, it is respectfully for them because they have a different word for sister. So another thing that I noticed when I lived there is that the people are very expressive. So usually the people use gestures, tone of voice, and like facial expressions to communicate their feelings. So this makes interactions feel more personal and emotional. For example, if they wanted to say no, they will use like something like that. So with that, they don't need to say no if they just do this expression, like you know that they are saying no to you. Or for example, I don't know, if they are not agree with something that you're saying, they will do something like, and you know that you need to stop to talk about that topic. For example, I remember like um, even in simple conversations, like you were buying something in a shop, um, I feel very warm because people like to talk and connect, just not to complete the transaction that we are making. Just they want to know about you. For example, when they know that that I am from Colombia, they always ask me for Falcao, Higuita, and they know, unfortunately, about Pablo Escobar. But yeah, they know something about Colombia. And when I compare Mexican and Turkish culture, I can see many similarities. Uh, both cultures have value family. Also, they have respect and they have social interaction. So people enjoy spending time together. They share food. They also like to build strong relationships. So, however, they express these values in different ways. For example, in Turkey, hospitality is very structured and respectful. And while in Mexico, it is often more relaxed and festive. And I will say something. Also in Turkey, it will be depend of the religion because for them, there most of them are Muslims, as in Indian culture. So for them, if they treat well to someone, they believe that they will receive the same benefit to them. That's why they treat well to everyone. And yes, that is my experience, and that was the comparison that I have about Mexican culture and Turkish cultures. So I don't know if maybe you have anything to say, if you feel more like identify with Mexican culture or with Turkish culture, and if you have the opportunity to live in one of that country, what country did you choose, or did you choose? Can you hear me?
Thank you. I was in mute. Okay.
Mhm.
Different things to take into account. If you are talking about family environment, right? Familiar environment to gather with them, I would rather Turkish. Yes, because I consider family as the best part of them, as the most important in life, you know. So I like to listen to that because for me it would be a different experience. Yes, I like to listen from you because you have the experience to live in that place. Yes, so you have learned different things. You are talking about what you experience, and it's very nice because we sometimes can confuse. Yeah, I don't watch TV, but I see that there are currently showing many Turkish TV shows, right? and and we find a couple of things, and we just say, "Hey, this is the real culture over there, or is just fiction?" Yes, it's the same as in Korean, the famous K dramas, right? Yes. On the other hand, regarding the Mexican culture, I would like to travel to both countries, I think. Yeah. But regarding the culture, if I have the chance to travel first of all to Mexico, I am very, very interested in living there for a while and to find myself with this Maya Aztecas, about the story I really like. Um, you, I don't know about literature. I have had an old season as for revolutionary. My mom was a very very revolutionary, and I remember an author, and it's Octavio Paz. I don't. I'm currently not reading about him, but I remember some of the poems that he did, and definitely I like it. Is to connect with part of the culture of this country. I'm from Latin America, so for me it was very nice. I remember Frida Kahlo, the how she exposed this rebellion against men, the identification of the women or the different traditions. So I think that I am closer to the Mexican culture, but it's because since I was a child, I was interested in this part of the story, right? But honestly, regarding the Turkish, oh, yeah, I like it. I didn't know about their traditions. I thought that it was very different. Actually, I felt afraid of traveling there. I thought that it was risky to go there. Now I think that it's different. Yes, it's different the perspective. So thank you, Janine, for the explanation of both cultures.
Welcome, Lina. Thank you for your participation. And
Mm,
Alexis, do you want to say
Daniela,
something?
Daniela, I just have one small comment to finish. While Mexican culture has many interesting aspects, um, I'm more drawn to Turkish culture. Turkey culture is a fascinating blend shaped by centuries of history, geography, and diverse influences from Central Asia to the Middle East and Europe. I think it's great that you're exploring this experience. Thanks for your sharing. Thanks for your presentation.
Welcome. Yeah, that's right what you're saying. Yeah, they have like in Istanbul part of Asia and also part of Europe. So they have both cultures there in just one city.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So,
Thanks, classmates,
mhm.
for your time.
Okay. Thank you to everyone. So we have finished with our presentation. We will stop to to share our screen, and also we will stop the record. Have a good night.
Okay, I'll see you. Classmates. Rest.